3 days, maybe 4 to do that. And it's gonna be very exciting to see how this is gonna go. I feel like last major, it was done in 2 days, right? 2 days of group stages. There were 4 series going on at the same time. 4 or no, 3. There were 3 series going on.
Crazy for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
played like 30
so much
games in
Dota,
3
yeah.
days.
Yeah, and there also that major, there wasn't that much play time for the teams beforehand. So hopefully this time around, we're gonna see everybody being maybe a little bit more
Just hope that was the right one.
Yeah.
If you have a bit more time like this one, you can sort of be proactive. You can adjust. You can say, oh, specifically versus these guys, we want to run a certain strategy. It should lead to better Dota.
Yeah, better Dota then as well, right? Because you could also say, well, that means that the teams that are normally better at adapting will get further ahead, meaning we get more stomps T.
Yeah, but that's like the interesting thing. Like, even though we just mentioned, like, who do you think the bottom 2 are, the top 2 are, realistically, the difference between the bottom 2 and that kind of next iteration will be like 1 game, like 1 draw, 1 loss. I don't feel like any of these teams are going to completely bomb out and go like 0-6, 0-7, like we saw in the previous major. Like, this group stage will be so close. And like all of these teams, they could easily have that type of run where they all deserve to be top 2 because they have the individual skills. Just do they have the ability to understand why they maybe are failing day 1 to recover, because they have plenty of time to do it.
Yeah, I thought it was very crazy in the wildcards that every team had so many ties.
It was crazy. Like, it's a 4-game difference between the top and the bottom.
Yeah, that's mad.
That's honestly unheard of, especially for a wild card where you'd expect variance to be higher. And we're just getting better and better teams as seen as the DPC seasons.
I need to ask the hard-hitting question.
Uh-oh.
Do you feel if NA had a wildcard slot, would they equally been able to muscle up draws? Asking the NA expert.
I mean, draws. I thought you were going to say if they would win the whole thing.
But
That's why I thought it was cool.
No, of course. Like, yeah, they'd have dumpstered it. But do you feel like they had the same performance if NA, for example, had a wildcard slot?
I think just the wildcards, the format coming in where you don't have any international matches is very favorable for 1-1 splits in best of 2s.
True.
Just because there's a lot, like if you have a lot of unknown variables, that actually generally favors the weaker team.
Yep.
And even like best of 2s, like if you flip a coin, like your chance of getting heads and tails is 50%, whereas 2 heads and 2 tails is only 25.
And it could easily, you could say like, okay, 1 game, 1 team has first pick, the other game, the other team has first pick, and that could potentially be the deciding factor, and that's why it's tied.
Yeah, jokes aside though, it would be great to see all regions having a wildcard slot, because like the wildcard is like our equivalent of a minor, and it is great to see like the tier 2 scene of every region should have its exposure, because like when we speak about like NA being a strong region, we're running off of like EG's single major performance, right? Like it'd be great to have all tiers having their showing.
I'm getting a little off topic here, but would you then rather have EU and China remove one of their wildcard slots and give that to the regions that don't have one, or would you add 8 teams in total to the wildcards? Have 8 teams in total?
I think they should add 2 teams.
I think you add more.
You add more, you don't remove or replace any.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like, despite how mean on EU is right now, because they just bombed out of the last major.
And it never happened.
Absolutely bombed out of the last major.
So it's very
like,
unique.
They have really strong players and teams and a really robust scene to back
Yeah.
them up. Like, they should have 4 slots. It's just not getting to prove yourself as another team in NA and SA, I think is relatively rough, because just these majors have shown us like
Thunder Predator are staying at home, right? Like realistically, they should be here.
They're a good team.
They're
like,
good,
These teams, like, they're good teams. You don't know how strong they are until they get a chance to prove themselves.
True. And we do have 8 teams ready to prove themselves right now in these group stages. And we're going to start talking about our first upcoming series. Again, by the way, there's 2 streams going on at the same time, so make sure you check out the Dire stream of Weplay, where I believe their series is. I know this. On the other stream, I've written it down. They have Team Liquid versus Beast Coast, but this is the schedule for our stream. We are going to end with Team C Vici and Vici Liquid. Beast Coast PSG LGD, but for now, we are focusing our attention on our first series of the day. We got Team C Predator taking on Evil Geniuses. And, well, if it's up to AOI, this is going to be a fast 2-0.
Up to me?
Yeah? If you were to predict
this one? It's just inevitability. I don't know, actually. I think there's a pretty high chance that TNC take a game.
Yeah.
Like, with no data coming in, and, like, they know who's in the group stage. Like, they won't have scrimmed each other at all. Like, 1-1s are likely in this situation.
Yeah.
I do think EG, I would say they're the better team on paper.
Yes, they are.
But they're also, like, we saw in the last grand final, they're just mentally weak, you know? Sometimes something might happen. They might snap.
That's true. That is true. EG, of course, the runner-up of the previous major, and yeah, a lot of people will be saying they lost that one not because they don't have the skill, because they definitely do have everything it takes to win. The mental fortitude, maybe not really there, and I think one of the things I want to talk about for this for this series is the difference in terms of EG for previous major and last major, or previous major and this one. Last time they just got seeded into playoffs directly. This time they got to go through the ringer here in the group stage, which is an absolute marathon and very different from what they played, T.
Yeah, I guess the question is, are they going to pull like a Secret, where Secret's wildcard performance, every single opener had a different little bit of flair and something else. And I only say that because EG's last game, trying to fight for #1 in their region, they were playing like a Legion Commander 5, right? It was very reactive to like a bat or something, but it's the fact that they went a little bit kind of left field in the final game, which arguably should be the most important if they want to be like the best of the region. So coming into this group stage, are they going to come in with like 110%, knowing that they already have TI in the bag? Is it going to be more of like a Secret style of, let's just play this, play what we're going to have fun. If we get deep into the tournament, great, but is there going to be that burning desire to try and claim the #1 spot?
To win, yeah.
Yeah.
And they
you don't
have
want to jinx it, right? You don't want to win this tournament, then, you know?
Has any team ever won the last tournament, last major before TI that actually won TI? Don't think so.
I think maybe Wings.
Maybe Wings, but that wasn't a major. That was more like an, I think
they got like last at the 2 majors before,
Yeah.
but like in the random tournament.
Yeah.
There it is. You heard it here first. We confirmed EG going to bomb out so hard they're going to get last in the hope to get TI placement in #1 spot.
There you
They
go.
might.
Yeah.
Honestly, the EG, like these Dota teams, they're actually pretty superstitious. Like they will legitimately think, because this happened to me before, every morning I need to use a special soap, do my hair properly. That's
Hey,
what
we know about Lanham's victory sweater, you know.
Yeah, no,
you got the lucky shorts
just in
somewhere
sports
from
in
Matthew.
general,
Do you
like,
have
that
anything, Lucky?
just builds
Howard?
up.
Do you have anything like superstitious, or like something
No,
that you
because
have?
I'm not stupid.
Well, you brought your body pillow.
He's
on this
no
panel.
longer
Yeah,
playing. He's on the panel now, T.
No, but for real, like when I was playing, I would
I
actually
see.
have the same routine. Like I didn't believe in anything, but I would try to keep things the same.
Yeah.
You know, like wake up, do things the same
You don't
order.
want
It's just-
anything messing up your flow.
Yeah, you want to be focused on something. You don't want to have to think about anything, so you try to develop a routine as soon as possible.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. On the other side, TNC, we can't really compare the previous major to them right here because they weren't there. They were actually just left out of the previous major, and because of that, they made some roster changes, and it worked because here they are in the group stages of this major. They did have to play tiebreakers, but they had to play tiebreakers up, as in they lost to T1, so they had the same score as T1, the team that made it into the playoffs straight away. Unfortunately for TNC, they lost that one, therefore they're in groups. But definitely the top 2 team right now in Southeast Asia. But it's a battlefield in Southeast Asia, T.
Yeah, I'm just worried for the region, simply because the volatility of like major presence, right? Like they're the region with the biggest shift of teams at this major. Of course, Fnatic bombed out. You then have, what is it instead? You have Execration TNC coming for this major. That's Fnatic.
Players are a new squad basically.
Pop?
He wrote down his breakfast for the morning.
Yeah, that's my
That element of surprise is not there as much as OB Neon.
I mean, I will say, I know I predicted TNC to get knocked out, but I think C has consistently been one of the more underrated regions.
Yep.
Like, I'm going to be
Absolutely.
honest, like as an NA player, we've probably been overrated at times because we're not that good. But C in particular, like, the community hasn't treated them that well.
The thing I think for the Southeast Asian players, for all of them, is that the individual skill is top tier. Like that is super high, right? And that's amazing. But you also need that voice to bring it together. And I think that's maybe what they're kind of lacking in the scene.
Yeah,
in
I think so
general.
for sure. When I go to play C pubs, like if I travel there for a tournament, the cores are really good.
Yeah.
And the supports aren't bad, but they're not like the.
They're
you know, the
probably
puppies,
playing
the
support
Kuroki.
because their core role got
Yeah,
taken
exactly.
or something.
But I
Yeah.
will say, like, every C pub, like, everyone in the game really wants to play the game.
They're all equally vocal, right? They're all equally
Yeah.
like, hungry for it.
Yeah.
They all just really want to play. It's just really nice playing pubs in that region.
You say it like such a surprise.
No, because I play
wanna
NA pubs.
play.
No one wants to play pubs in NA. They're doing it out of like, I don't know why.
What
They
else
want
do you
pain.
do? Like, it's Dota or nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have to.
That's pretty funny. I'm curious to see what kind of Dota we're gonna see for this series, because both of these teams in both of these regions, well, we have seen Execration, but we haven't seen TNC for a while. What kind of Dota is coming out of them?
Geniuses turn to pick TNC Predator.
It's either you pick Bristle now, okay, you pick AA and then TNC, it could be Bristle +1, or they just ignore it, right?
I think they should do it.
They should ignore it, yeah.
You're coming into a group stage. You have almost no info in the last month on EG.
Yeah.
You should pick your stuff and see what works.
Okay.
Even if you lose this series, you will be better set up with like all knowledge and ideas wise for the rest of the
Yeah.
group stage.
I think, yeah, again, there's 2 series
Here
per
we go.
team, I believe, about ish today,
for the
and
first-
yeah, the
okay.
Lion Bristle opener. I think you have to stick to your guns, play what worked before, see how you do against an international stage.
I mean, anytime you come to an international tournament, like just in Dota in general, you're betting that what you think about the game is correct.
Yeah.
You're making a wager. And generally the teams that do the best at tournaments are ones that come with strong ideas and adapt.
Yeah. The main thing is your opening, like you have to have a lot of confidence in your openings and understanding like when you enter the draft, you can't be like scared about what's next. You have to be able to go, this is what's good. No matter what they pick, we have to stick to our guns and we can't overreact too much. And they go for the TA. Surprisingly as well, EG, Arteezy's actually played some safe lane TA. In his
He plays
pubs.
a lot of safe
exactly.
lane TA.
After, of course, SA popularized it, mainly HFN on no ping. He's now been starting to play himself. So potentially this could be the mid or safe lane.
And it's pretty good for Bristleback, just that minus armor. I think both teams have some like pretty clear ideas with their draft right now. TNC is basically saying, we have Bristleback, we'll be able to run at you, and they paired with a Lion, which means that if you cannot stand and fight us, we'll be able to catch you with the Lion. It allows Bristle to right click.
Yeah, the main thing with TNC, their best strategies have either been overwhelming semi-core run at you heroes, or they've fully gone like 4 protect 1. They've never kind of met in the middle where they've kind of gone half and half. It's always been one or the other in their strats. And
Yeah,
when
I
I think
think-
Bristle, this is an indicator of just fight and go.
Yeah, the games where they picked 2 carries, I think they looked out of place almost. Like it didn't suit their aggressive style. This is a team like they need to play off their momentum. It's not. It's like the players as a whole in C, they're really crazy and run at you, and you want to sort of play how you perform in pubs because honestly, these players are gods in pubs. They make it like a pub to win the game.
There's one big upside that EG has in this as well. You know, you're going up against volatility of Southeast Asian teams, Southeast Asian pub players. They got 2 of their own. They got Abed and Ice.
That is true.
They got
They
their
have
own flair there.
infinite
It's gonna be Armel versus Abed. I think that's very
It's-
exciting.
It's also sort of strange because despite EG having these YOLO players, I think a lot of people say Ice is like top tier in the YOLO category. I think EG as a team, they're the most like how do I say, like they want to
Methodical?
play a perfect game of Dota team. Like if you talk to them how they think about Dota, it's like, okay, we won this game, but how we played should have been like this, and they want to make it perfection.
That
That's
one
what they're
rotation on mid, it was suboptimal. Go again. Right back. Yeah.
So they'll look at Dota that way for sure. It's like it's sort of a contrast to someone like say OG. They want to win Dota by making their opponent mess up because they're just playing so much pressure. Like it's a very stark contrast between those two particularly.
How would you describe the style of play for TNC or for Southeast Asian teams if you're going to compare it to the style of VG like that?
Oh, it's a polar opposite, I think, right?
Well, like for example, TNC, they're a team that picks Beastmaster offlane still, and it's the idea of you play your lane, and it's so easy to rally around this hero, and that's kind of right now when I see these 2 openings, like EG, they want like a nice laning phase, but they're not going to be like running around the map doing anything. They want to be able to react to engagements. But that's why I want to see like a Pangolier, for example, for EG, like perfect counter rotation hero, and then TNC. They're going to want to farm stacks and then instantly cross the river, apply pressure, and go and fight.
Geniuses turn to pick.
All right, we got ourselves an Earth Spirit coming out.
Nice.
That's another run at you right there.
Yep.
If Bristleback gets to a good start, as you said, he manages to farm an Agent stack, I can see these 3 heroes just moving around and completely causing chaos. I think a lot of the game plan between these 2 teams right now is just TA is going to place a lot of traps around her Ancients, and TNC are trying to break that EG triangle.
Yeah, the value of TA and the reason why it's so good is because of simply the traps. Like, you used to always just put it on runes, but now people are moving the traps to being more like truly vision based. Like, you have it on the entry to jungles, the exits, you put them in popular smoke areas, just so if you do get that clip of vision of a pos 5, you check his inventory towards sentry, you're going to find where he's going to place them quickly. So yeah, TA is the stonks on that hero is going up.
And I think Abbott in particular, even when I coached him on Fnatic back in like 2017, I always thought he was the best TA trap user.
Okay.
He's just a very
This is
that was a
fight.
fast. They knew what they wanted.
Yeah, they know.
That's a good TA counter actually.
An instant Mars. Okay, I love
this is planned, right?
Yeah, exactly. This feels very scripted.
And Mars is actually one of the highest win rate heroes from the group stage. Wildcards.
But I love it here in this position because you have heroes who play around movement with the Darkseer, and also the double value of against Bristleback. When you spear him to the wall, you can actually then you have some way to manipulate his kind of positioning. You're turning the back away, so it's that counter aggression.
For sure. EG's lineup is very set up to like burst one hero and then kite the fight out.
Yeah,
I think that's what you want versus really run at you heroes. How Dota works is if it's full 5v5, it's really easy to move forward or backwards as a team. If EG are able to make TNC only have 4 heroes at the start of the fight, they'll be able to kite them really well with traps. I don't know why it is particular. I think it's just like you have more spells, right? Like every hero has a slow stun, some impact.
But I guess the main thing is though, TNC, they have a way to punish the Mars, right? If Mars ever wastes Arena, that's a pretty hefty cooldown on a spell that is so instrumental in their team fight right now. If he wastes it or he uses it to rebuttal, let's say, an Earth Spirit, right? Then the Bristleback comes in after. Like, there is no real way to kind of disengage the fight. Like, they want to be able to do it, but it's like they have a cookie on Snapfire and then TA playing around her own Blink Dagger maybe, but if they take a bad fight, they're going to be overrun so quickly. It's like Mars v the world right now for that type of that fighting.
Do you think it's a Bristle carry or mid? Carry or mid right now?
I'd like to see the Bristle carry, and then you pick up like some Leshrac style int mid.
I want them to get something to start a fight cleanly. Like Earth Spirit, he can sort of start fights, but it's not reliable. Same for Lion for a long time because this is a 5 Lion. He's not going to have Blink Dagger. I mean, they get to see EG's last pick, so we should probably focus on that one.
That's true. Yeah. But I think right now, I honestly, for mid heroes, like, I'd even throw a Pangolier for them. Just completely remove the idea of Arena, and it starts to fight so easily, the vision from the hero. But anyway.
They need something like that to get an AA, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The Bristleback, he wants to frontline, but sort of like pseudo frontline in this game. He doesn't want to run in first, get Arena Spear and AOT.
So that's the main thing, If the Mars is to counter.
You need some chaos for sure.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you guys feel for both teams that they're just both pretty happy with their draft? I kind of feel like they're getting what they want from this.
I think that's what should happen. Like as you come in from playing your international tournaments, like you should test the waters. Like I think even if like EG know what TNC want, they still want to give a bit of it. Maybe not the key heroes. I'm not too sure if you should give them Bristleback. We're
gonna see if that was a wise choice in the game.
Like you can't go to an extreme, right? You can't just like black box your bans like Isaac Sice on Zenith did. Maybe he's
that's fair.
Whispering in the ear.
That's fair. I mean, the thing is, do you still your whole bonus time for that? I think so.
You do. Yeah. It's not good to do.
No, it's not.
You can pseudo do it. You can ban like some Meepo, Chen.
True.
Although Chen did win a game somehow.
I feel like these bans are putting the TA into a carry role, and this potentially could just be like a Storm Spirit last pick for EG, because I think like TNC really wants that backline catch, but there's not enough bans.
TA has a carry role. Like you ban the same heroes for TA mid as TA carry, though. I think.
Okay.
So. I can see what you're saying, but like I don't know if it reveals too much about what EG
No, that's true. I'm just trying to think of like what's the flex core instead. Like if you're trying to keep the TA open, like what's that next in line?
I think TA should do very well for Darkseer in lane though.
Yeah, that's what the main reasoning. Yeah.
But like to be honest, like if you see the Darkseer, any carry you pick should dumpster that hero. That hero is very weak in lane.
Especially with an Earth Spirit.
Yeah, it should be awful. And
the main reason we say that is because Darkseer, like Earth Spirit's a hero that plays off of roll and setting up the damage. Darkseer doesn't really do damage until level like kind of 5+. And then when you get to war especially. And heroes maybe like Clockwork or mainly Clockwork is one of the best kind of kill. Even Tusk, they're the better Darkseer combos for actually killing in the lane.
Earth Spirit, he's not as tanky as the other fours. Like even a Nyx can keep the iron shell on your opponent for longer.
That's
you have casual stuns, you have 4 armor high regen. Earth Spirit doesn't really have that.
And it's the main reason we're mentioning for TNC especially, they need a hero other than Bristleback to start the fight. Because Earth Spirit, he is best played when he is able to patiently wait, analyze the entire engagement, and then decide exactly what role he's going in for.
If you get to go in second as Earth Spirit,
Yep.
your silence is actually the thing that's really good. If you
Devastating.
go in first, you will hit the roll maybe. It's like a 50-50, but your silence will definitely not be good.
Ban out Ursa, so yep. TNC, assuming that it's the TA mid, now this is where EG has to kind of reveal what's happening here.
So yeah, so in terms of carries, if that is what we are still looking for, the position ones, there's only one usual suspect I believe still in, which is the Wraith King.
Wraith for EG?
Not for either. I mean, both of them have been banning out the sort of the same
you're right.
style.
There are a lot of carries
And
now.
Terrorblade also still in, which is only thing because of the Illusion Core ban.
And you actually don't know if Bloodseeker's going mid or carry.
You do not.
Yeah. That's a.
Not until the heroes get picked, but yeah, for the
exactly.
pick, they are gonna have to.
And that's nice
gamble.
as first pick because just hiding a little bit of information makes TNC's last pick that much harder.
But is this not like a really good Storm game?
Storm.
I guess maybe it's not. I'm just trying to think of like the idea.
Storm. It's definitely a good Storm game, I'd say.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Shiver's a genius.
They go for Wraith King. Okay.
It was process of elimination, guys. Ban all the carries. There's a
Oh,
couple
it's gonna
left.
be a mid Bristleback then. Okay.
Bristleback versus TA. I think they should both farm in that matchup. Maybe TA slightly outfarms him, but it'll definitely come down to supports. I think something that was happening a lot was Crit would TP at like the 3-4 minute runes and kill like in the last major. That'd be like the best move he makes for EG. But I'm not too sure if you can do that versus Bristleback as TA Snapfire.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for EG because like they need to wait to enter the game, but when they enter the game, this Bloodseeker isn't going to feel too great fighting into like the tankiness of a Wraith King or a Bristleback. These are heroes that stand still pretty quickly.
It depends a bit. Like if EG win their safe lane really hard this game, which I think if I were to select a team with the best safe lane, it's EG, like in the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like they're laning powers.
Okay, I see.
So like if they can dominate their safe lane, then I think their path to playing is very simple. Like
That's true.
they're a team that will rotate this Bloodseeker mid at low 6 or 7 this game, and they can overwhelm TNC's draft.
Yeah, I guess the main thing is they need to try and ignore the Wraith King because if they ever isolate the Bristle or the Darkseid, they will die to like
sure.
the Rupture plus AA, just dead.
And
so
I don't think Wraith King carries this game. I think Bloodseeker actually is really good versus Wraith King carry. You
because
get
you
the
can just
shard.
kite out and
It's kiting. It's a shard. It's just. I mean, Bloodseeker actually dominates these strength heroes in the late game if you have enough items.
What if you play the Wraith King the way we saw somewhere in the wild cards? That the King
Vessel?
Yeah, he just doesn't go into jungle because it will be Bristleback taking up all that farm and getting all the stacks, and Wraith King will just go fight and build.
I'd like to see that just because they have the Bristle, right? Like they have to one farm, one fight. But exciting game.
Exciting game, I love it. We get to see both these teams play the style they want to play, and we're gonna get to see which one of those two teams is gonna have the better idea of Dota going into this Animajor. We're gonna do that. We're gonna experience this game together with OD Pixel and Fogged.
Or TC.
Yes, thank you, Shiver. I'm here joined by the OD Pillow again, and it is going to be a pretty hype matchup. Does feel like both teams got kind of exactly what they wanted. Does look like both drafts do have their merits. So, Owen, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, super excited for this one. It's always going to be fun, especially when it's both teams' first game here on the LAN, EG versus TNC. And it's a lot of hero player combinations are going to be, we're going to have to keep our eyes out on, Tim's on his Earth Spirit. He's going to be rolling around the map, causing a lot of chaos. And then over on EG, just looking at things like the Arbed TA, this man on this hero, he can take over the entire game himself. So a lot of things to be excited about seeing. And one of the, I guess, kind of different things is talked about by the panel. I wonder how much you like it and if it's something that you feel that TNC can roll with pretty well. Is this idea of having the mid Bristleback and the offlane Darkseid, having these two cores, bringing the chaos whilst Gabby on the Wraith King gets the farm. Do you like this approach from TNC?
It's their comfort. It's what they've been super good with in the DPC, so why not, right? Like Curtis was saying, you don't want to change your strategy up so much going into this, so I do like that they do just put it out there. So they just test the waters, see how EG is going to react to it. I'm definitely looking at Tim's though, right? I want to actually see if he's going to ever make an early move, because you have to imagine, this is TNC versus Abed Owen. So there's got to be a little bit of that wanting of blood for Tim's in particular. We're going to see, I want to see in particular these rotations of like Ion Shell on the Earth Spirit, maybe an early TP, potentially looking to pressure Abed early on, because that's something that they can definitely do to burn those refraction charges and actually set themselves up for a good start.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Tim's movements in the early game are going to have to be something that EG we'll need to be quite prepared for. And in terms of the lane in general, I mean, how does Bristle play against the TA in the matchup in the 1v1?
It's pretty farm heavy. I think TA slightly will be able to out farm the Bristleback, but I think it's really going to be up like to what Curtis was saying on the panel, is just rotations are who gets the double ruins, who's able to secure better, who's able to maybe get a stack camp or something on that small camper on.
And then looking at the side lanes, I mean, anything that sort of stands out to you as being a difficulty here for one of the teams?
Definitely the Darkseer. That is going to be really tough for him versus just a Bloodseeker who sustains versus it freely. You have an AA, long range, able to trade hits and always bully. So they're going to have to, of course, manipulate creep with that Earth Spirit, and we'll see how Bach is able to do. Because he's also, you know, I watched quite a bit of their games and just was looking at him. He struggles a lot in some of their games. Like he has like 9 deaths or 8, so he ends up being that like big sacrifice for Armel and for Gabby to kind of pop off. Ice.
Sure, do those deaths tend to happen in sort of the laning stage, the early game? Is that where Bach sometimes struggles?
I mean, it's kind of all over the place, to be honest with you. I saw him playing a lot of different variety of heroes, though, so it's also in the region as well, too, right? Like, SEA is a bit crazy, so they are just, like, committing for kills sometimes that maybe aren't so good, but it kind of just happens throughout all stages.
So far, on the CS, I mean, as you say, you know, bottom, Arteezy is having the edge here against Bach. Probably it's all against the Darkseer. Moving in on to Boomy. Boomy has got the stick charges and the Fairy Fire ready to go, so he'll be able to survive that. But we are certainly seeing it between Ice and Crit on these two. They've got a lot of burst kill potential in this lane. So I mean, he's going to be able to be very careful as the line. He gets caught out of position. EG's going to be able to blow him up.
I think him and Gabby both have to be pretty careful. I think this is going to be the tougher lane for the side of TNC. The minus armor in general versus Wraith King, he is one of the lower armor carries. Even when you have Ring of Protection, you're only at like this 4 armor. There's a Blightstone, a little Shredder, and then there's this Mars who just rips into you with physical damage of God's Rebuke. So they got to be a bit careful up here. And mid, I'm actually seeing some nice stuff from Abed. He actually goes for Meld at level 3. That's kind of cool. See, playing versus that melee matchup, you can easily get that Meld off onto Armel and make the trades more valuable for himself.
In there, able to give Armel a right. As Armel will look to grab the creeps away, and so he's gonna maybe take them up and gonna go for some new target. He's gonna get the bounty rune here. Make sure that Arbed isn't able to step back and get the refill. Not that Arbed's gonna mind too much. Still has the bottle full at the moment. And the water rune.
They have to be sure they're not
Tim. So Tim's still.
You have to make sure they're not too low on HP. I think that's one of the biggest things I'm looking, because look at Bach. Immediately when we see these heroes low on HP, he just starts getting hit by Arteezy. He might actually just die. He's gone.
Well, there we have it. First blood. Indeed, not an easy start. Down at just 6 CS against the 15 and 8 for Arteezy. I mean, you said it in terms of heroes. It's not an easy lane for the Darkseer to play in and put any pressure on. And Bot gets. He's not going to be able to have much impact down here at all. So we'll see what sort of moves he does make on the Darkseer. But this bottom half of the map hasn't been great. Of course, Tim still yet to really find a place to make a move. Still just sitting halfway through level 1. So it's going to be very hard for him to have an impact in this early game, considering they just didn't really have the opportunity in the lane to get him any XP here as this Spirit. So it'll be a very slow start for Tims.
They're getting the stack started, though. Look, Boomy, he's even got, what, 1, 2 double stack over here. They got a triple stack on the Ancient side here from the Earth Spirit, and Tims is looking to maybe play around mid. I do want to see him look for that rotation early on with a level 2 Ion Shell on him, TP to mid, look for probably around the 6-minute rune, just so he can set up Armel for a bit more success. Since Armel is still farming, fine, but he is not actually winning the matchup versus Abed. Abed is out farming.
So they can find Fly here. Fly is going to walk up into the 2, and then Bach and Tims. They got the damage. Fly is out to the side with the stick charge. He's still alive and now as the backup of Arteezy as they'll turn towards Tims. Arteezy ready to run down Tims as Arteezy claims the kill. Bot vacuum Fly up to the high ground. Will get the kill. He's going to look to try and surge himself away from Arteezy, but of course that level 1 surge quickly coming to an end. Blood Bright's available and Arteezy is on track to clean up another. Runs down Bach. Double kill for Arteezy as he really is having the best start he could hope for on that bottom lane. At the same time, in mid, Arbed, he hits that 6, he chases him down, takes out Armel as EG getting some big kills in the mid lane and the bottom lane. Up top though, TNC, they are able to take down Ice. So core deaths across the map, but still overall EG definitely having some pretty scary looking starts here on some of their cores.
they're really crushing the start. Fly, even though he dies bottom, it actually feels like almost a good death because he just TPs mid, refills Abed's bottle, and now Armel is versus a full TA. It's top Gabby.
And look at this straight up top, Gabby. The one charge is just enough to save him, but he's now fully out of regen. We'll get passed over a Tango, but has to be careful coming across that tower there. Crit saw good opportunities to set up for the combo onto him. See Fly trying to check out what's going on. And we'll actually be able to sap some of the XP here. By the looks of it from Armel. Armel's going to try and do his best to push Fly away. And it will work.
So we'll get a good chunk of that XP though.
Radiant's top tower.
He's juking him. He's okay mid lane.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not going to find him at all. As Tim's, he's gone. This mid lane has become a bit of a no-go zone here now for TNC's. Boom, he's TP'd in. Slowed down by the trap, has the backup of Armel, so Abed and Crit won't be able to dive in anymore. But Abed, now with the DD, with those treads, I mean, with the levels as well as we're seeing with his trap set up around the mid lane, this is a very scary place for them to turn up. I mean, RTZ, he couldn't be having a happier time. He could not be having a happier time down here. Kill after kill, 3-0-1.
They kill the Ring of Health. They kill the Vanguard. That finished Vanguard for Armel is now dead since they go for this invasion play. They even get traps around the area here too. This is the beauty of a TA versus these heroes that want to farm stacks and just sit in the jungle so much too. You're just going to be able to set up vision in the area that's going to be a lot harder to de-ward. Tims will find the one ward, but it's level 2 Earth Spirit at this point. Arteezy is having a dream start. And as the panel was saying, like Curtis was mentioning, Bloodseeker versus these tanky strength cores, he thrives when he gets this type of start. Well, this is definitely a concern for them here. And there's also a medallion already on Crit. This is quick stuff coming out from EG. Very good early start here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how does Tims even make a move, right? But all of these cores, they're not easy ones to roll into, especially when you're as underleveled as you are. Going into this PA or into the face of a Bloodseeker, both of these heroes, they're just going to turn and kill you.
They took the mid tier 1 at 7 minutes. Now they've got easier access to go into these jungle points and just steal the stacks. Thankfully, Armel, he does go through and actually clean up 2 of them for now. But now they've lost their jungle. They've lost access to their ancients quite heavily. And Abed might just start actually playing more aggressive. Instead of playing on his side, he's going to be able to farm the opposite side of the map and deny a lot of gold. This is concerning here for TNC.
I mean, what's the move here for TNC? Yeah, you know, the speed, it's stepping up pretty fast from EG. I mean, TNC, who can they sort of get together to make something happen and try and have a punch back at EG?
I think they have to start utilizing the Ion Shell. Double Ion Shell and Darkseer Earth Spirit, maybe have the Lions start rotating as well. They got to start doing something because they're losing too much map control too early. They've even have to now leave the top lane. Ice is 6. Wraith King has to go jungle, and now it feels like they're going to have 2 heroes that just have to jungle on Armel and Wraith King, as Armel still has to wait for his Vanguard to come back to life, as it is coming out now.
And they're going to go full in on the sort of just hoping that EG don't speed things up too much. You know, Gabby queuing up the Midas Radiance. He's going to go for the full greed. They want to try and somehow get this game going to the later stages. So a lot of pressure on the rest of TNC to make sure that Gabby is going to have the time and space to build up these 2 options. And more, of course.
That does feel a bit concerning, but they do have a good way to run at them, right? With heroes, they have Bristle, they have Earth Spirit, they have Darkseer, so they can actually make the space for this Wraith King if they do run out together. But EG is making the first moves completely, and RTZ even setting up a defensive ward for himself, and then he's just going to TP top anyway. Even though he doesn't spot anything with that ward, he's going to look to continue pressuring.
Let's see what they do here. This is all under the dark board of TNC. Well, look at the spear back onto Gabby. Into the range of Abed as they bring down the Wraith King at once. Tims rolls down, he instantly gets ruptured. The arena's down from Ice. They turn towards Tims. Ice, he's able to get himself out as the arena holds back Armel and Gabby. Armel trying to move on forward, but EG, they've got the full 5 here. RTZ stepping off to the side with the Blood Rights down. They'll turn back in on towards Gabby. RTZ commits over the spear, pushes back Armel. Gabby will live. As he gets himself back underneath the tower, they keep Gabby safe for now. So TNC, all things said and done, definitely able to limit the casualties. They're only losing Tims, and they will be able to push back a full 5-man attempt from EG to take that tower.
Bach finally gets some breathing room down bottom to get his level 7, get his Arcane Boots online. But that is Reincarnate down too, but it's a very long cooldown that is used for that one where EG can't play around it. And they're probably going to look to just keep going up top. Arteezy healing up off some neutrals. He's going to be able to continue pressure up there.
Let's see if Armel's strong enough to sort of hold off this aggression.
What's he going to buy for armor? I see he's buying treads right now, but he does need a little bit of armor versus this lineup. There's Medallion, there's Little Shredder, there's... Oh,
he's set up.
He's in trouble.
He Looking pretty dead here.
Sure
Straight
is.
away, I mean, they're playing this combo nicely. They've been doing it since the landing stage. Crit and ice just
Look how fast he
in,
is.
easily allowing him to get the angle for the spear, and indeed RTZ's chasing for more. He's got a rupture ready if he needs it. Good stun from Boomy will hold RTZ back, so RTZ actually able to continue to commit, but of course TNC pushed entirely away from this top half of the map now. They can get the objective they're looking for, get that tier 1 tower.
They're really smashing this early game. There's no real reactions that TNC can do. They weathered the storm at first because of that reincarnate, but that's kind of it. They didn't get any positive out of it except for Bach getting some space. Gabby now does end up going bottom, but as you said, he's going for this very greedy build, so really does feel like he's just going to punish the hell out of it.
I mean, that's coming in with the TPs. They know that reincarnation is still on cooldown for a good amount of time.
6
Gabby's
on
aware.
Snapfire.
People disappearing off other areas of the map. Gabby's not sticking around at the tower.
They don't hit buildings very easily anymore. Bristleback is a good tower hitter overall. I think for like Wraith with skeletons, but when you're at this deficit, it's easy for EG to just set up. They have multiple different heroes that can actually set up to go for those defenses. Bloodseeker as well as that Mars. They have Kiss.
They're trying to get on. Gabby's been ruptured. The kisses are coming out. Well, Gabby's going to try and run. It'll turn with the grip, but RT's got him. That's Gabby down. Over to the side, Tims will be able to get on top of Grip. Binds him in return. Instantly out with the TP as well to make sure that RTZ can't clean him up. That's Gabby going, and of course this whole draft and lineup for TNC, it's so important for them that Gabby doesn't die. You know, everything's on this Wraith King.
They do at the least get the tower, but yeah, it's expensive. Did we see what was going on? Did they say anything?
Towards the mid up. Oh,
Just a pause. No lag. I guess just might have been some slight lag. Language settings. Okay. That's a new one.
A different one. I guess. Oh, I had this client in a different language or something. So it must be all fixed now. All fixed now. He's changed the settings. We're good to go.
Nice blast in mid. TA trap watching Boomy.
And they'll
see you later.
Move combo there from the low ground. Arena down. Perfect setup for the blast. It's a low effort kill there from EG. Few spells and the line's gone.
Once you start getting ahead with TA, it starts to be really difficult to play the map. These heroes like Lion you just die. You know, there's a trap on top, you're dead. One other hero comes over for rotation and you do end up dying.
TNC though, considering the objectives that have been taken and the kills that have been had, only 2k behind, so still holding in an Armel. He is going to be very tanky on the Bristle. Vanguard done. Continuing to beef up. I mean, as I say, if they can somehow fight as the 4, keep Gabby safe, they will have this Wraith King that does have the potential to become quite a bit of a raid boss. And they're actually going to look to get him in. Okay, no, Gabby, he doesn't want any part of this.
I don't think he should.
Bok, Boomy, Tims, they're ready to go on the hunt. They've got the 6 on Boomy. They have that burst from the finger. That they should be able to get the kill if they find a hero alone.
They got to get a high priority one, though. They need to try to find Abed. He's got a haste, though. They might just end up having to be satisfied with crit. They're actually going to go at the D ward right away, but they're going to reveal their positioning with that one. And yeah, I mean, Armel is tanky in a way, but at the same time, he's not. There's so much minus armor that's coming out. It's a level 4 meld already. Max Little Shredder with a medallion, too. This is not going to be easy for him to actually tank the that's coming out from EG. And there's an Ice Blast on top, too.
I mean, yeah, is this still a game where you do like that he got the hood, or would you have liked him to see some sort of plate mail or something else instead of it? Or do you feel that the hood is indeed very necessary here?
It's such a good pickup always, like when you're versus like Mars and AA, but I feel like the play might have had more merit, or even maybe just a casual medallion, because I was clicking around like who's actually going to build a medallion on their team besides just the Bristleback. It's a little bit of a weird pickup to get on your core, but might be more necessary versus all this minus armor.
Nice catch here from Tims. We'll be able to dispel the smoke movement here from EG that was on track to get down towards Gabby. So Tims just making sure he's always in position roughly on the map between the rough whereabouts of EG.
It's Roche time. They've got the Deso, they've got the Medallion, they've got the Shredder. They're going to easily be able to do this one. I don't think there's any way TNC can contest this.
Yeah, they'll have to let this one go to EG. And Sages will be theirs, and EG will see what moves they want to make next. As Arbed very ready to get in on the front of the fights now. obviously, of course, yeah, Armel just going straight to Albert next. Needs to have something against the TA.
That would be nice, at least for that.
3,100 gold into the relic.
It's time that TNC really does need. But just losing, they're just going to keep losing on this map control. This mid tower has barely even been touched. 1,700 HP still on it, and EG's playing active. They're still looking for plays.
They're all inside TNC's jungle right now, keeping the wave push right up to the tier 2 here. 15 minutes in, and this tier 2 probably going to go down without being defended here by TNC. So it's a very early pressure just continuing to come out from EG as TNC just opting to try and play as far away from EG as they can. So the Gabby's farm goes uninterrupted.
They're getting a pipe on the Darks here next too, which the Crimson Guard might actually be more valuable this time since he is versus all this physical damage, but it does feel like he does want it. Just
yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely scared of the magic. Yeah, Hood on one core and pipe on the other, so.
Boom.
Set the damage from the AA, but Boom,
Goodbye.
Ooh, okay. Steps out the bait, and EG, they make short work of him. Boomy's gone.
Got the
And 60 minutes
here.
in, they're having a bit of a tickle at the high ground.
Why not? They know that Gab not prepared yet to fight. He's got the relic, but not quite the radiance yet.
That's very
Just
true.
force the issue.
You're effectively pushing in whilst there's no carry.
Mm-hmm. And Arteezy's still farming in the mid lane, so he's not actually getting, you know, disrupted of having to stick with his team the whole time. He's getting his own type of farm. Armel has to start reacting toward top. Ice, waiting at wounds here with his ward, watching the Armel rotation. Won't quite catch him.
See Arbed just trying to find a few more creeps here to hit this timing of the blink in combination with picking up this DD rune. Just a couple 100 gold away from having the blink dagger. As in the mid, and drop the arena. Not quite enough damage to take down Tims though. Tims, he's going to live through that burst. He's out.
They revealed their ward with that play too. Instantly dewarded by Boomy. So limited vision right now from the side of EG, but they have so much information just from the tower pushing that they've been able to do and from the traps that Abed's laying down all over the place. And yeah, blink coming out on the courier. Another tier 2 getting pressured. Map shrinking for TNC.
No, it certainly is.
So strong, guys.
And
So
even,
strong.
you know, 4K, you know, not the biggest of leads you necessarily see in a game that one team is sort of getting as far ahead as it feels that EG is. It's very much the fact that, you know, EG, they're going for the objectives. They're going for exactly what needs to be. They're not aimlessly chasing for kills. They seem that they've got a pattern. They know how to close up this game. They know what their goal is, and so far they've not been forced to stray away from it. It very much does seem that EG is pretty much in full control right now.
Absolutely, and Arteezy's he's not sticking with his team, so he's not getting under-leveled by any means. He's actually playing his own game on the sides here, so he's still getting very farmed, very high level. Level 14 on Bloodseeker. Abed's 15. He's got a BKB about to be finished on Bloodseeker too, so he's keeping up with the pace of the opposing carry. Actually, keeping ahead of the pace of that opposing carry, who's just been sitting in the jungle the whole time, Gabby.
So how's his progress looking? A few hundred
It's
gold
close.
and the relic and recipe will be done. So Radiance at least, but you know, as you say, he's going to turn up and still have quite the struggle standing toe-to-toe against this Bloodseeker TA. They will be able to blow up Gabby twice. And Radiance alone, it's not likely to make that much of a difference at this stage of the game. He's going to need to still play a bit of the AFK game, even when that Radiance is done.
As long as he gets really good RNG with the evasion, with the mischance from that Radiance, maybe he can survive, but it is so much overwhelming damage now. Solar Crest, Little Shredder,
We got the rip.
Armel, they're going for
They're
it.
looking for Armel. They've got the Ice Bars coming over. I mean, he didn't stand a chance there. The minus armor, the damage coming out with the DD on our bed. That's the Bristleback gone, and that's going to be a huge concern for TNC with this sort of lineup that they're trying to play with the draft. You know, the Bristle, he's got to live. You know, if he's not alive, you've got nobody else to start a fight or to respond to a fight. You know, the Bristle's life is everything for TNC to be able to do something. So with Armel gone for 30 seconds, they're unlikely to be able to make any sort of moves here as EG step up to the high ground.
15 seconds on Aegis. EG really trying to force the issue. Something is going crazy in the other game. Gary is going ham over here.
No, there's definitely much more of a calm experience in this one. 12 to 3 is a say no, not an insane amount of kills, just very, very controlled and careful game here from EG.
Look at Crit even taunting them.
Lane to lane.
Are you going to play the game line? They're starting to make a move out, Tims.
So they're fine fly. Fly's gone. RTZ maybe looking at the chance of getting back in on this. Arbed's making his way back over ice. No arena for 20 seconds.
That is a magnetize and a finger. So it is a pretty big committal that they had to use to get that one kill. Don't know if the magnetize was absolutely necessary, but they're just trying to get anything on the map since they are at this big deficit
you just
right
try
now.
Everything at this stage, yeah. You've got to secure yourself something here, TNC. You've not been able to find kills for this part of this game. You have to guarantee you get whatever gets presented to you. As EG, of course, there's still some easy objectives for them to take. The tier 1 still standing down bottom, so some very simple goal for them to pick up here as Arbed starts to bring the bottom creep wave round. See if TNC can pull together any sort of defenses outside of their base here on the bottom half of the map on this side lane.
They're bringing Tims down, but it was spotted. RTZ actually saw Tims TP on that tier 2 with the vision. Ice is going to know that this Earth Spirit's in the area.
He's going to get ruptured. He's going to turn it. RTZ wants the BKB. They're ready to go. The arena's down. Box gone. Gabby's down the watts. He's going to be back for round 2. But Tims, he's getting hit hard by the kisses. Tries to roll away, but RTZ's got the kill. They turn, looking to lock down RTZ. Hex into the stun, but it's 3 dead on TNC. Only Armel and Boomy left alive as EG, they're ready to look for the cleanup here. Armel trying to run, but RTZ chases him down. Double kill for the Bloodseeker. Boomy, he's into the trees. They're hunting for him. They're not going to let Boomy go. He's going to try for the TP out, but they've got the damage. It's a team wipe. EG clean up. 17 to 5, 8k lead. TNC just not showing any signs of being able to fight back at EG this game.
The game plan from EG, it's too fast. They got too much of an advantage at this point. TNC, they can't fight, and they're all set up in the area. EG, they saw the Earth Spirit setting up from the tier 2, so they know that this fight is inevitably going to happen. Ice just throws his life away. He doesn't care. He's like, all right, we're going to win this fight. I jump in. It's over. If he gets that type of initiation, there's no way they're going to be able to do anything about it with this BKB from the Bloodseeker. And pointing out a bit of an interesting skill build, RTZ's got 1 point in Blood Right and then stats. Because all he really has to do, it's not like this silence is phenomenal this game. He's not playing versus some type of spirit or some super mobile here. He stand toe-to-toe and fight back versus these tanky. That's also why he's gone for the lifesteal talent too. That's really good planning, really methodical from EG this game. 10,000 gold lead already. Experience also 12,000. And Crit continues to taunt them.
Boomy able to respond a little bit here. I mean, how we doing on Gabby? Radiant, so after that, it's sort of a slow move on towards the halberd. I believe we did see the Courier of Armel getting taken down that lot. That's what had the recipe of what would have been a completed halberd. It's going to be put on the sidelines for a little bit. Top lane, Ice. He's got the setup on Bok. Another kill here for EG. As getting out on the map is a huge struggle here for TNC right now.
Oh, pretty cool too. Abed, he finds himself the Grove Bow. So if he plays at max distance with his attacks overall versus this Wraith King, he doesn't even get affected by Radiance. So that miss rate that comes into play, it won't even be hitting him if he plays at max range because of all that plus range that he has now.
That's pretty insane, actually.
And it is pretty nuts. I mean, this talent is ridiculous, this level 10 one that we are now seeing a lot since we're seeing so much TA.
Yeah, we are just seeing sort of flawless play here from, really from EG as a whole, but the fact that both cores, right, Arbed and RTZ, they're yet to die this game. There's been no moves made on them. Arbed 6-0-6, RTZ 7-0-6. They had a perfect start from the laning stage and just very play here from EG, making sure that they don't make any mistakes.
It's super clean. They're one of the better early game teams, and they're really showing in this game. Just really methodical, just across the board, not giving TNC any hope. As TNC, as we said, they're building these halberds and stuff like that, but those will be effective to be able to disarm the TA. But armor is still a massive issue for them. You see the plate mail is queued up now, but
it's not going to be easy here.
No.
For TNC.
I don't know how they do the initiations.
Together maybe for that one fight.
Yeah, they have to have Armel be able to
know,
actually tank the brunt of the force so that Tims can get a good follow-up, so he can actually, you know, get this magnetized to spread probably so he can get these silences and all that, but he's just dying too quickly. He just gets killed in a matter of seconds before the Mars Arena even ends.
Try and CP out, but RTZ's in with the damage. Armel's gone. TNC, they are able to take out Ice, but they loot 2 for it. Abed and RTZ continuing to go unscathed in these fights. They just cannot kill these two.
Ice continues just to be the sacrifice. He jumps in, he gets hit by everything, he dies, but for the greater good. As Roche does respawn, Crit spots it with that trap too, and they're just gonna back up and go for that one here. TNC, can they contest it? They still have 25 seconds without the bristle. Feels like if they give this one, the game is pretty much impossible for them, but don't think they can even make it there in time.
Yeah, they just can't make the move quick enough with the speed that he take down Roche. Very quick like Roshan here for Evil Geniuses.
Feels like a valuable Bloodseeker shard game. So, I mean, usually we see the TAs take it, but he's not versus any type of, you know, effective silence hero. So, yeah, RTZ, really good shard game versus these strength cores. He's going to continue to just rip them apart.
Ice. He's got the setup here onto Gabby. Backup's coming in from each. This last connects there for the Meldit. They're going to be able to pop Gabby the once. As that, this time RTZ's got a friend. Ice and RTZ, they're up on the cliff. RTZ's going to TP his way off it, back towards the mid lane. TNC are able to get in and take down Fly. Ice also off the cliff as he looks towards Boomy, but Crit goes down. RTZ and Arbed, they're going to make their way back over. See if they can still clean this one up as they've got the rupture down onto Armel. Now step in, they'll bring him out, roll in from Tims, trying to get it onto RTZ, but they don't have the damage. RTZ's back up to full HP there with the G's, as it's another cleanup by EG, triple kill for Arbed. As Bok, he nearly goes down. See the dive in onto Boomy, spear off the mark, no, Boomy's gonna go for the TP out, and he actually makes it away there with that spear missing, so Boomy will live. But another fight where TNC do struggle to kick back. They get the 2 supports. You know, nice little cute move there from Bot, getting the 2 cores on the cliff. Definitely meant that there was some time for TNC to punch back that fight.
Some time to run away, perhaps, as this TA just shreds them in a matter of hits. The BKB gets popped, doesn't have to worry about missing at all, even if he is close range. Abed nearly has MKB to deal with that annoying invasion that coming out anyway. 14,000 gold lead. And TNC still struggling to really find much of anything in the game. Clean game from EG. All sticking together again, all 5 heroes up on this high ground. TNC rallied together too, but this fight looks pretty impossible. Ice waiting at the wings to initiate.
Yeah, he's got the arena back up. TNC's got to be careful. They'll step back in Arbed just with this completed MKB. So Vision isn't going to do anything at all.
So hard for them to play the draft the way that they wanted to, where they have these tanky core running in, so it allows these Earth Spirit in line to get their spells off properly, but they're just not tanky. EG just waiting outside their base for an opportunity.
Happy to take their time. Ice is up to the top, ready to start bringing that wave round. They want to try and make sure they've got all 3 pushing in onto TNC when they look to go for the high ground advantage. RTZ. Get the rupture down onto Tims, into the blood right. RTZ wants to push in for this, but the Ghost Scepter's out. Tims find himself some time. Oh, he's on the cliff. They've got Arbed up there, but he is going to get cookied back down to the low ground. Ice Blast coming in. They've got the lockdown to take Arbed down the once. But now EG, they're ready for the chase down onto TNC. Gabby's going to get surged up to the high ground. Desperately trying to escape from EG here, but the arena's out. They've caught Armel. As Armel trapped in the arena will get cleaned up immediately. A buyback comes out for Tims. Gabby dies instantly after he reincarnates as RTZ's diving into the base here. Runs down Bok, looks over towards Boomy. Tims trying to get away with the Ghost Scepter, but as it comes to an end, so does his life. RTZ takes him out. The Ghost Scepter on Boomy will not save him this time round. They've got the control through it all as it's another team wipe by EG. 29-8. EG getting very close to being able to close up this game 1 here against TNC.
They lost nobody. And that was with the Tims buyback. They couldn't kill anything yet. It's GG. Whew. What
There
a
it
clean
is.
game by
I mean,
EG.
what a game. Absolutely. I think, you know, one thing when it comes to seeing EG, for all the EG fans back at home, it's, you know, it's always all eyes on what sort of performance they're entering the tournament with. This game one, pretty much little to no hiccups from them here. This was just very, very, very solid stuff from EG, as this game, it never looked out of control for them for sort of the very early minutes.